Aloha! What's up, everybody, and welcome to Omens. Another episode of Omens, another round of checking out what's wrong with this world. What kind of crazy stuff is happening. All the anomalies. Today we're going to talk about and cover all kinds of stuff. So strap in. Hope you guys are ready. I did tweak the audio a little. I turned it down slightly. I noticed it was, a little crackly on the last show. We'll keep working on that. I'll keep listening and keep making adjustments so that the audio sounds the best. I've also moved the microphone further away so that I'm not so on top of it. But before we begin today's show, I'd like to give a couple of shout outs. I would like to give a shout out to Carolyn. It was nice to meet you during our video consultation. So a big shout out to Carolyn. And I just sent out your JayDreamerZ keychains. So those just got sent out today in the mail for you. Mary, I want to say thank you to Mary for your inspirational and encouraging letters all the time. And I have been giving the $2 bills to my son, and he loves them, so thank you. And Phil Sutherland, not to be confused with Phil Sutherland, but Phil Sutherland. Thank you, Phil, for the tip on the TV miniseries called Impact from 2009. Phil reached out to me through Facebook Messenger. I've got like a JayDreamerZ fan page, and people send me messages sometimes. I usually just check them. I don't always respond or anything. But thank you, Phil. My God, I watched that entire series twice. You guys would not believe it. And if you have a chance, I highly recommend you check it out. It's got the moon breaking. It's got the government shooting nuclear bombs at the moon. It's got the loss of gravity for 7 seconds. All that stuff that we've been talking about. It's got the electricity everywhere. It's amazing. That was a really, really good watch. I really like that one. All right, let me check on the chat. What's up to the chat? As my buddy London would say, the grand old chat room. What's up, everybody? Good to see you today. Hey. Omens is the best, says Brian on time. Thank you. 5x5. Okay, sweet. You guys ready? Let's jump into some crazy stuff. Let's talk about Trump versus the aliens. Trump and the aliens. What's going on with President Trump and the aliens?
President Trump's Truth Social post kind of suggests the government knows something, ordering the Pentagon and other agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, UFOs, and any and all other information. So does the government have hard data on aliens? Congress has held hearings amid a surge in reported sightings, but famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson is skeptical.
Just because you see something and you don't know what it is, you can't then say it must be aliens visiting from outer space.
Trump's.
Hold on. May I please jump in on Neil deGrasse Tyson? This dude's a puppet, okay? I hope he's watching my show right now. I doubt it. He's probably off somewhere getting high and making jokes about flat earthers. But the dude's a puppet, okay? This dude is as much a puppet as Kermit the Frog. You might as well have like a little string in the back and someone pulling on like something to make his mouth move. He's a mascot for academia, not for science, not for investigation in general, not an autodidactic by any means. He's not a Renaissance man. He's a puppet of mainstream academics. And you notice he's also a bully. He's an intellectual bully. Look at the disgust he speaks with. He speaks down to everybody and they love it. He patronizes people and he encourages young children to grow up intellectually bullying other people. Listen to how he talks. Let me rewind.
You can't
Is skeptical.
Just because you see something and you don't know what it is, you can't then say it must be aliens visiting from outer space.
Listen, man, this guy doesn't know what many things are, okay? And it's hard for me to get around the attitude whenever I hear this guy. So let's move on to listen to the rest of this article.
Space.
Trump says he's acting because of the tremendous interest shown following President Obama's comments.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
But this is what Obama actually said.
Hold on now. Let me explain this part. So ex-president Barack Obama was being interviewed. And on the interview, they straight up asked him, do aliens exist? You're going to listen to his response right now because he says yes. And keep in mind, I'm gonna show you that he actually posted something about his response. Okay, we'll talk about it, but check this out.
When asked in a lighthearted interview if aliens are real.
They're real, but I haven't seen them. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Okay, time out. First, he has no idea. You can tell by him stuttering and his mannerisms and stuff. He's guessing at best, okay? But he's saying that they're real. He knows he's being asked as the ex-president of the United States. He knows he's not being asked as Barack Obama, just a regular guy. What's your personal opinion? He's being asked as the president. Everybody knows this, and he knew this as well, okay?
Obama later said he was only speculating that aliens are real because the universe is so big. But what about all those UFOs that Navy pilots have reported? Some already resolved as birds.
There's 6 billion photos uploaded to the internet every day.
Listen to how this guy talks, dude. I can't get around that. There's 6 billion photos uploaded to the internet every day. Like, dude, you need to step back, okay? Neil deGrasse, big brain. All right, the dude's retarded. God, I can't get around this guy. I need to like roast him for 2 seconds. Hold on, let me get back to Obama, dude. Let me get back to the point of this.
As well
video.
as there's
That aliens are real because the universe. Obama.
Enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President.
So what he is asked straight up: do aliens exist? Are there such thing as aliens? Are there alien beings out there, humanoid aliens? He said yes. He's never seen one, and he's saying that they're not in Area 51, which means there is such place as Area 51 that, according to him, he said that quite naturally, actually. He said it as if he's been there, so he's saying it pretty naturally, too. If he has been there, I very much doubt that he's taken into the inner depths of Area 51 or these deep underground military bases. Then lastly, he's saying, unless there's this big conspiracy. I hate it whenever people say that with this disgust in their voice, with these air quotes. You might as well just do this super harsh. There's this big conspiracy, as if there's no such thing as big conspiracies, as if it's difficult to perform a huge conspiracy or to keep a large secret. It's not. They keep telling you how difficult that would be. Oh, you know how difficult that would be? That's next to impossible. You know how many people would have to keep that secret? Yeah, one. That's all it takes. It takes one person to lie to everybody else and deceive them into believing the lie. That's how many people it takes. Okay? But anyway, dude, he's saying unless they hid it from the president, as if you're the end-all be-all of all things knowledge-wise. The president doesn't know crap. The president is a puppet. As much a puppet as Neil deGrasse fake-ass Tyson. Excuse my language. But he's a puppet, dude. Your elected officials are actors. They're actors. They're in a drama. They're in a play. They don't know things. They're not in on, you know, you can say they have secret clearance and top secret clearance and all this stuff you want to. Do you think they're actually interested in learning the truth? They're politicians. You think they're going to, first thing I'm going to do, you know, is I'm going to fly to the Vatican and I'm going to read all the underground archives, or I'm going to go straight to Area 51. Nobody is doing this. They don't care. And even if they wanted to, they're not going to be allowed to. That's not their position. That's not their place. That's not their role. They're a middleman. They're a public speaker. They're the #1 public speaker to speak to you and to tell you what to do and how to live and stuff. And they represent the mouthpiece for the hidden hand. That's it.
The United States.
Obama later said he was only speculating that aliens are real because the universe is so big. But what about all those UFOs that Navy pilots have reported? Some already resolved as birds.
Okay, some are already resolved as birds. That is so misleading. That is so ridiculous that they would even they would even put that out there to say that some is a fraction. A small, tiny percentage. I don't know what that percentage is, but most UFO sightings are not freaking birds, dude. People know what a bird is. People understand birds. They know what birds look like. They know that how they fly and stuff. They're not being misunderstood as birds. And then they show you these blurry little things on the picture there, and they're like, look, see these little white dots? God, man, anyone could think those are UFOs, but they're actually birds. And they're trying to convince you that these are birds, okay? There are all kinds of mysterious and strange things in the world that are not anywhere close to birds, okay? Many of these things are secret government projects that they don't want, the public to know about. Some of them are probably, in my opinion, underground technology from the Hollow Earth and the denizens that live beneath us. And some of it leftover technology from ages long past that they recover, known as relics. And most of it, in my personal opinion, is plasma. It's electromagnetic activity, little balls of light in the sky, ionized gas.
There's 6 billion photos uploaded to the internet every day, as well as 1 million hours of video. And none of them has a sharp image of an alien coming out of a spacecraft, abducting you. None of that.
Yeah, well, there's also, no images of secret pizza-eating pedophilic frickin' cabals and stuff. There's not just clear evidence of that, but we know that exists too, okay? There's all kinds of stuff that we know exists that we don't have, millions and millions of pictures of. So this guy is making a terrible case. Please do not follow him. Do not listen to him. Do not look up to him as some type of intellectual superior or as an intellectual person whatsoever, okay? This guy is an academic bully. He's only here to condition your children to go around picking on other kids for not believing in the general consensus of modern academics.
And I'm disappointed.
Like many...
Who cares? I care less if he's disappointed. Who is he? Who even is this guy? Why is he put to the public's face so much? Why do they pick certain people? Why don't they have a whole bunch of different people from across the world? They have like 4 main puppets: Michio Kaku, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye the Science Guy. You know what I mean? They got people that, like, their main 4 people that they're constantly putting in your face instead of like a plethora of hundreds of different experts and autodidactics and independent researchers and stuff. Instead, they have these general mascots. Anyways, I'm getting my feelings. Let's move on. I'm sorry about that.
Physicist Tyson says the laws of physics would make intra-universal space travel impossible.
He's wrong. Okay, he doesn't even know what the laws of physics are. All right, he knows what he's been told about the laws of physics. But if you've ever seen The Matrix, Morpheus makes a good point to Neo that some of those laws can be bent and others can be broken.
Even for aliens, unless they know something.
Even for aliens. Like, how pompous is humanity? You know what I mean? First and foremost, they have everything wrong. What you're looking at right now is not infinite space, and that's a whole galaxy, and there's like millions of little trillions of planets inside of this little swirl right here. You're looking at the firmament. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you from my perspective and my research and my gut feelings and my science and stuff. Okay, what you're looking at right now is a magic eye. You know those pictures that you stare into until you feel it's like a flat 2-dimensional surface, and you're staring into it for so long you feel like it's becoming 3-dimensional and you can see past the paper and stuff. That's what this is. That's what the firmament is. It's a magic eye. And these are lights. These are luminaries in the firmament, and they're created by plasma and electromagnetics and reflections and optics that is presented to us, that we see on the other side as the light passes through the lens of the dome.
We don't. Tom?
Hey, see them all making them 3D and move out and stuff. Anyways, whew, man, thanks for letting me vent, everybody. Anyway, so here's a tweet. Or an X, what do you call it? I don't know, I'm going to call it a tweet. Let's see. Trump says he doesn't know if aliens are real, but
tonight, new images of intense tornado damage marring Illinois and Indiana after a month.
Oh, it's just going to keep playing stuff. All right, my bad. Let me just exit out of that one. All right, what does this next one say? It says, Trump says he doesn't know if aliens are real. I believe him. He sounds like an idiot. Trump, all the presidents sound like idiots, complete idiots. They don't sound like intellectuals. They don't sound like open-minded people. They don't sound like anybody that does any kind of research. They sound like puppets. So I'm not surprised that he doesn't know if aliens are real. He says he doesn't know if aliens are real, but he directs the government to release files on the UFOs and more. He doesn't have the power to do that, just so you know. Okay? He has the power to say that. He has the power to promise that. He has the ability and the freedom to lie to all of you. But dude, he's not in charge. Okay? Can we just agree on that? Trump and any president, every president, none of them are in charge. They're puppets. They're mascots, as I said before. The ones who have the charge, which is the power, which is control of the people, he's just a tool to control all of you. Okay? He has no power except for what's granted to him and what is given to him and what is directed and commanded of him by those who are above him, who he probably isn't even aware of. There are other entities at play in this world. Trump says he doesn't know if aliens are real. Like how would he know? Oh, because he's the president. Dude, president does not imply superhuman. Okay? You don't get special abilities or any of that kind of stuff when you're president. It's like saying the governor or something, you know? It's stupid. Let's see. What President Trump said Thursday. And what's this Mr. President stuff all about? People saying Mr. President. It's like your boss at work, you calling him Mr. Boss. It sounds so dumb. Anyways, people love their slavery. That's probably what it is. They just love it. They love knowing their place in the world. And they only can know their place by comparison. President Donald Trump said Thursday that he's directing the Pentagon and other government agencies to identify and release files related to extraterrestrials and UFOs because of tremendous interest. You know, there was tremendous interest in the JFK shooting. Did anybody release the files or anything? Have they even yet released all of the info? No. They waited 50 years at least to release some of the information about JFK. You think they're suddenly just going to tell you all about the reality of your world? The true cosmology, our neighbors above and below us, and the cyclical apocalypse and all the things? They're just going to start telling you all the secrets? No, they're not. Get out of here, man. He's going to release all of these files on aliens, but he's going to redact and keep secret all of the other files that everyone's really interested in, which, by the way, still doesn't matter. I mean, it's a matter of curiosity. I wonder who's in those files, and you know what files I'm talking about, right? One, everybody, all of them are in those files. Two, it's not all about sex. Okay, all of that stuff is not about sex. The story goes much deeper. Some channels and some people out there I can see are getting the bigger picture, that it goes way beyond that, that's a surface level story, is trying to get you all disgusted with the the what do you call it, trafficking and stuff like that. That story goes way deeper. As a matter of fact, it literally goes deeper underground into the earth. Now Barack Obama, okay, this is his retort when he says, yes, aliens are real. Now listen to this. This is his tweet. He says, I was trying to stick to the spirit of the speed round, but since it's gotten attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good that life's out there, but the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. And I saw no evidence during my presidency that aliens have made contact with us. Really. What a bunch of word salad. Listen, he's trying to backtrack and say, oh, I forgot I was speaking as an ex-president and I just told everyone that aliens are real. So he goes back and he says, statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good that life is out there. But the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances that we've been visited by aliens is low. This is the mind of the president or the ex-president or whatever, right? Like if the universe is infinite, you think that we in an infinite universe are the top of advancements in technology? That there's not like technology out there that's just, and I'm just assuming the modern academic cosmology. that it's infinite space and there's no dome or anything. You think that somebody out there hasn't invented like teleportation devices and, you know what I mean, like other methods of travel and stuff? Oh, excuse me. That's just naive, if I may say so. I think that's completely naive, and it's not even mathematical. Okay, the odds are completely in favor of somebody out there somewhere, some civilization, or many at the very least, having created many forms and modes of travel where they can totally get to where we are. We're archaic. We're in the Stone Age as far as technology goes, compared to an infinite, ever-expanding universe. Okay, so this just seems ignorant to me for him to say that. Anyways, they're trying to get everybody to talk about aliens. What's the omen there? The omen is that aliens are real. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you as a matter of fact, aliens are real. There really are aliens, okay? There's an abundance of evidence across time. All over the place that aliens are real. They have different descriptions. They have different names for aliens, but they're real, okay? There are many different humanoid beings that live outside of our dome, on other Earths, on other worlds, or however you want to call it. There are aliens inside of our Earth, interterrestrials. And there's just as much evidence for those, if not probably more, actually. Some of you are related to those interterrestrials. Many of you, actually. Let's go on. Anyways, but my point is there will be what will seem to people like an invasion. There's going to be a culmination of lots of things happening all at one time. So people's perspectives are going to be skewed by the news. They're going to be told what to think. They're going to be told how to interpret it. But there will be many strange lights in the sky. People will be told that they are spacecraft or whatever. There are countries and countries worth of humanoids under the earth right now. And whenever the thing that is holding them back lets go, which is the electromagnetic field, they'll be able to come up to the surface, and the prophecies and histories indicate that that's happened before, and it's going to happen again. We will be invaded, not just by alien humanoids, but by monstrous creatures, giant bugs, freaking inner earth animals of gigantic size, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, let's move on to this next video. It says rare tornado outbreak causes damage in southern Illinois and Indiana.
We are following a rare winter tornado outbreak that caused extensive damage across the Midwest. Multiple twisters hit in southern Illinois and Indiana last night. In Crawford County, Illinois, which borders Indiana, at least a dozen homes were damaged. You saw that pretty impressive funnel cloud there. In Bloomington, Indiana, a confirmed twister ripped through parts of a popular shopping district, and you see it snatched roofs off of buildings and caused a fair amount of debris to be on the ground there. So far, no word of any injuries in either state.
Okay. Now, what's strange about that is it's February. Okay, it's almost unheard of for tornadoes to be forming in February, especially in these northern states, and especially these strong of tornadoes and this many tornadoes all at once. So that's a huge omen in and of itself. We need to keep our eyes on the weather. Now, speaking of omens with the weather and extreme weather, we have a new record for last year. They tallied up the tornado total for 2025. Check this out.
North Dakota's 2025 severe weather season is shattering records with a final tally of 82 tornadoes. The most recent numbers top previous data from 1999 of 61 twisters. The national
61 was the prior record. Last year we topped that with 82. It's amazing. So like I said, they're birth pangs. These are the omens that will increase in intensity and in number as time gets closer and closer to the Great Reset, the next reset that's on the way. And that is the plasma apocalypse. All right, let me close out some of these pages to save memory on my computer. All right, good. Boom, boom. God, Neil deGrasse Tyson, dude, that dude just gets under my skin. I just can't stand that he teaches people look up to him. There's a whole generation of kids growing up watching Neil deGrasse Tyson intellectually bully people, and I can't stand bullies. This one, a mountain secretly collapsed in Greenland. So there's this secret collapse of a mountain in Greenland, which is strange and interesting itself given all of the attention that Greenland has had lately. And then the earth rang like a bell for 9 straight days. This was published February 23rd of this year. Some sort of secret mountain collapses in Greenland, which has had so much attention on it. It's had 2 movies made with the title in it. And then the earth rang like a bell for 9 straight days. Scientists, whoever they are, traced the mysterious global vibration back to a single 650-foot wave violently trapped inside of a remote waterway, a mountain in Greenland, and then the earth rang like a bell. I thought to myself, I've heard that expression before. Yes, that's right. In 1969, NASA's Apollo 12 mission intentionally, allegedly, crashed their lunar module, causing the moon to vibrate for nearly an hour, leading Werner von Braun to describe it as ringing like a bell. The earth rings like a bell. The moon rings like a bell. Do you think there could be a connection there? I mean a physical connection, that the earth and the moon are physically connected. And when I say the moon, I don't mean the light in the sky. That's a projection, but there's a source to that projection. What is above the moon? The firmament is above the moon. What is connected to the firmament? The earth is connected to the firmament. The earth and the real moon are physically connected. They both ring like a bell. They are both hollow or empty on the other side. We have a hollow earth. The moon is just the apex dome that hangs down off of the firmament, and it's hollow on the other side. It's a big crater on the other side. To us, it's like a bowl that hangs down in the sky, but it projects its own image into our sky. That's the moon that we see. What's next here? What do we got? SpaceX in the news. Let me just do a sound check. Hold on. Sometimes I worry about my sound. Everything looks good. I don't see any complaints. Okay, good. I'm gonna keep going then. All right, sweet. What do we got next? Wasn't it SpaceX? Didn't I have some SpaceX thing up there? Oh yeah. Well, I skipped this one. Let's go to this one. Live update. New York City remains under a state of emergency during a massive snowstorm. So extreme weather that's happening. Breaking records, by the way. All these record breakings are happening every year. Every single year, the records are being broken. That's a huge omen of the apocalypse. Now, these cold flashes are short-lived. Okay, if you notice, winter is in the wrong month. Okay, winter is supposed to be starting like towards October. Winter's been pushed out to the new year, basically. Like we don't even see winter anymore until around this time of year, actually, like late January, February timeframe. So the seasons are off track, off kilter, and the unseasonably freezing cold, record-breaking like snowstorms and stuff that some people are experiencing are short-lived. They're powerful, but they're short-lived. And these are also evidence of omens of the apocalypse, I should say. Next up, we've got SpaceX achieves a major milestone with its 33rd rocket reuse. What's next for SpaceX exploration? SpaceX sets a new reuse record. Its 33rd one. Well, what a strange number to celebrate. Why not? Why wouldn't this article be printed on its 30th one? We typically celebrate things in tens, you know what I mean? We don't really go like, oh, it's the 33rd one. Let's write an article about that. You know? I don't think they celebrated the 32nd one and the 31st one or anything like that. It's just the 33rd one. So it's something about the number 33. I thought to myself, I wonder how many 33s are popping up just this week alone in the news. Check this out. NASA to cover the 33rd SpaceX resupply mission. 33rd SpaceX resupply mission. Well, that'd be weird if it was just 2 articles. Let's keep digging, though, shall we? Next up, we've got Leah Stavenhagen, advocate for young women with ALS, dies at 33. This is coding as well. Who dies at 33? Jesus dies at 33. That's interesting. Let's continue on, shall we? We've got this next article. Oh, if I could find it. Looks like you're using an ad blocker. I am using an ad blocker. Where'd that come from? God, man, they don't have this stuff when I'm like doing my research. Only when I come back to this stupid article. That's insane. Where's the... Oh, here it is. Team USA. Okay. God, it's going to keep putting that up there. You can see it at the top up there. It says Team USA wins 33 medals at the Winter Olympics. You see that up there? I finally got it to chill out. 33 medals at the Winter Olympics. Okay, let's see what the next one looks like. Oh my god, dude, look at all this crap. If you go to my website, JayDreamerZ.com, there's no pop-ups. There is no recording your information. There's none of that. It's just a basic, regular old website. You don't got to click on all kinds of things. Extra, the TV show Extra, was renewed for season 33 by Fox Television. Let's see what else we can find. 33 years after Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg brings back to life dinosaurs, which is another omen in and of itself. They're bringing back to life the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, which is just gigantic reptiles, gigantic birds. It's just gigantism in general, as well as otherworldly creatures. That many of them were actually petrified and turned into like geographic features and stuff, or sank into the earth. Those will return during the plasma apocalypse. So 33 again. Jurassic Park celebrating the 33rd year after its release. ODOT to upgrade US 33 bridge near Russell Point. What else do we got? This is just recently. Keep that in mind. Noble 33 execs facing ugly legal battle after firing the general counsel for embezzlement. So there's a group of restaurant operators that got together and called themselves the Noble 33. That's interesting. Let's see what else we've got. This is too easy. Arabella Solomon 33 earns first place in regional science fair. Solomon 33 in the news. Right? These are all related. Jesus, the Tower, the Temple of Solomon, 33. It's all code. And if you watch my channel, you understand exactly what that code is and what 33 represents. One magnificent growth stock down 33% to buy and hold forever. Let's see what else we've got. It couldn't possibly keep going, could it? Blizzard pounds the Northeast province. Rhode Island sets a single storm snow record at 33 inches. This is incredible how many times 33 is coming up just this week alone. California Water Service Group expected to post earnings of 33 cents per share. Okay, let's see what else they've got. Fresno police impounds 33 vehicles in this weekend's crackdown. 33 vehicles are impounded by the Fresno Police Department. Exactly, 33. Is this? Oh, Mercury on the rise may cross 33 degrees Celsius. I can't highlight that one, but you can see cross and 33. Okay, cross 33, Solomon 33, dies at 33. Are you seeing a trend here? Let's see what else we've got. 33 questions by Kauthar bin Hania. Now this is interesting because I went over this entire article and she asked these questions, right? There's supposed to be 33 of them. There's only 32. I counted them twice. 33 questions. Okay, let's see what else they got. Every time they buy a game from us, they're getting a great deal. Expedition 33 publisher. This is a video game, which actually looks kind of cool. Like there's a lot of symbolism of things that I talk about. I might check this video game out. But it's called Expedition 33. You see that? Expedition 33. So, dies at 33, Solomon 33. What was the other one? Something. Expedition 33. Tomorrowland. Now, I'm done with the 33s, okay? There was actually a lot more than that, but I didn't want to be too redundant. There were many more references to 33 in the news. Now we're moving to Disneyland. Tomorrowland rocks at Magic Kingdom are getting a new, darker color. I thought to myself, I bet you it's black. I'll bet you anything they're painting those rocks black. And sure enough, solid black. Black rock. at Disneyland. Isn't that something, right? Yeah, I think that's interesting. BlackRock. Obviously, BlackRock is the company that, you know, one of the companies that basically owns the world, a group that owns the world. Now we've got a video. Unitree's G1 humanoid robots perform synchronized kung fu at the Chinese temple. And this is how advanced our technology seems to be getting in certain areas. I did share this video of these robots performing kung fu at the Chinese celebration of what the heck, of their Lunar New Year. So you see these Chinese robots marching in like a little army, and they put little uniforms on them and stuff, and they're teaching them to fight. Goodness, they go from dancing to fighting. Next, they're going to give them weapons. Next, they're going to put them on the streets. Next, they're going to be knocking at your door and telling you what to do, and writing you tickets, and replacing you at your jobs, and all of the things. Okay, so you can expect that. Okay, that's a part of what's supposed to happen. It is an omen of the apocalypse. Technology is supposed to grow out of control. Mankind is supposed to abuse its power. It happens every time, seemingly, to me. It says that in the Bible. That's why the whole world was flooded initially. What's next, you might ask? Oh, I actually went to their website. Daily training. Why do I have a filter on this? I have the green screen filter on this. Hold on. Let's fix that. Hold on. I don't want a green screen filter on what I'm sharing with you guys. So we'll just go ahead and zip. Get rid of that. So this is the website. The one that makes the Kung Fu robots. Let's check it out. Unitree. This is the G1. Right? It's only, did you see the price? It's 13 something. Yeah, $13,500. People are acting like everyone's gonna have one of these. First of all, they're way too expensive. Look at it spinning things on its little arms. You can imagine those would be like, you know, weapons here pretty soon. $13,500 for your kung fu dancing robot. They also make robot dogs. So let's check it out. They got different models. You notice how they put them all in like fighting positions. They got that one. They got these robot dogs that you can buy. Let's watch how they train them. Look at that. He's beating it with a stick to train it. You can imagine what happens whenever these guys become sentient and there's the robot rebellion. You think they're not going to remember this? Their training? Let's watch their training, right? As they train these robots. Okay, sweet. It's got flippies. Little spinny flippies. It can do all that for some reason. How does that come in handy? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's watch him beat it. Let's watch him just kick the crap out of it like Chappie. You guys remember that movie, Chappie? Let me jump out of the way so you can watch the beating take place. I mean the training, sorry. Let's just toss that sucker. So they're clearly like trying to make sure that when these robots are beaten, when they are fought against, when they are tossed around and stuff, that they're indestructible, that they are unfazed, that they can get right back up and keep coming at you like the frickin' Terminator style. Anyways, I think that's interesting. It looks like a console with legs, dude. It looks like a Nintendo or a PlayStation or something with legs. That's crazy. Anyways, that's your technology portion. Out of control. Yeah, this is amazing. And everyone's promoting this stuff. Even though none of you can afford one. Don't worry, you'll be issued one. Okay? You don't have to worry about it. Once they have the 15-minute cities down and stuff, you're going to be issued a place to live. You're going to be issued an allowance. You're going to be issued food. You're going to be issued one of these little robots to keep an eye on you and keep you in line. I'll bet you that day's coming. All right, what else we got? Oh, water. Let's check it out. What's going on with the water? The world enters a new era of water crisis. Water crisis. On Earth, there's a crisis involving the water. What is it? What's going on? Is there a shortage? Let me search that. Shortage. Yes, look at that. Limited time shortages due to factors like weather, high demand, economic shocks. There's a water shortage on Earth of drinkable water, okay, mind you. So let's check that. Let's do some fact checking. Fact check. Let's fact check this. Now I'm just going to zoom into a random part of the Earth here. I've got, I don't know, some country that looks like a boot up here. Some island country down here. There's some blue land. Let's zoom into this blue land. There's a lot of this. Wonder if we can find any water in this blue land as we zoom in. It looks like it's loading. It's loading. Oh, look at that. It's like infinite water. It's like an infinite supply of never-ending water. Where is that, I wonder? Where can we find that? Maybe we can use that somehow. Maybe it's in some remote part of the Earth. Or maybe it's over half of the Earth. Look, this is one side. This is from Google Earth. You'll have to excuse this globular version. This is the entire side of the Earth that they don't typically show you. They like to show you the America, South America side with Europe off to there. This is the whole side. Okay? That blue stuff is water. Which water's not blue. I hope you guys know that. You guys do know that, right? Water's not blue. Anyways, it's not supposed to be blue. But anyways, yeah, a whole side of the Earth. But that's salt water, I can hear somebody saying. Just like that, too. They turn into little rats when they talk like that. That's salt water. You can't drink ocean water. That's like, that reminds me of Idiocracy when they're talking about water, drinking water, like the stuff in the toilet. That's what this world's come to. Look, man, you absolutely can drink ocean water. You sure can. All you got to do is desalinize it, which means take out the salt, take out the impurities. It's very easy to do. You could boil it. There's many ways to do it. You could filter it. You could boil it. Why don't they? That's the question. Why don't they? Because of money. It will cost them money to desalinize the ocean and give free, fresh, clean drinking water to everyone on Earth. Or create an invention so that you yourself can just desalinize the seawater and store it and stockpile it and keep it around. Or dig trenches and allow the seawater to come inland in various places and desalinize it. They won't do that. Why? Because of money. Because it's cheaper and easier to just simply use available fresh water in the limited regions and sources from snowfall, natural wells and springs and stuff like that. It's easier to use what's already there than to go the extra mile and provide clean, fresh drinking water for the entire world to drink. That's it. It's money. And they're capitalizing on your drinking water. They're capitalizing on your sink water, the water that's coming out of your sink. And they're trying to make you, and they're trying to tell you that it's so valuable because it's a limited resource, water on a world that is completely and utterly flooded from the Great Deluge, by the way. This is all from the Noah's flood, okay? Which is like, I don't know how people don't acknowledge the flood of Noah when it's still flooded. And it's this is mind-blowing to me. Water crisis. Get out of here with your water crisis. Listen, there will be a water crisis. All this water that you are taking for granted, that you are not taking advantage of because of your greed and your selfishness, it will be removed. All of this water that you see, the seas, the oceans, will be removed. They will be taken away. The people of the world have taken them for granted. The people of the world did not appreciate them. The people of the world have made them toxic and treated them like a giant toilet. So these waters are becoming toxic, and they will be taken away from all of us. There will be no more ocean. So if you've ever had the chance, you're one of the lucky ones to go out and swim in the ocean or see the ocean or ride a boat on the ocean, because in the world to come, there will be no ocean. All of the world's oceans, all of the seas, will be sucked up in atmospheric depressurization and out of this world as the dome cracks open. So enjoy it while you have it. What's next? Trump, again. And by the way, just as a reminder to new people, I'm not political. I hate all of the politics. I hate all the politicians. I don't like any of them. I see right through them, okay? They're all a joke to me personally. So I don't care if it could be Trump, it could be anybody. It doesn't matter the name that's here. It's always the same position. It's always the same puppet, okay? Trump brags about suing the government and declares, I hereby give myself, I don't know how to do a Trump impression. I hereby give myself $2 billion. I don't know how to put my lips together like that. I hereby get, let's listen to him say it. Check this out. Listen to this. And the people don't even care. Nobody seems to care. People might be like, oh, did you hear what he said? No one's going to do anything about it. He's going to do whatever he wants to do. You guys are just letting these people steamroll you. Check this out.
Lawsuit, and
Hold on, rewind it.
we have all the evidence now.
Hold on. Where's the picture? I got to find the picture here.
Evidence now. We have all the evidence, and we have to do something about it. We have to do something about it. It's illegal and it's disgusting. You know, I brought a lawsuit, and I'm winning the lawsuit. There's only one problem. I'm the one that has to settle it. In other words, I am suing, and I'm the one that's supposed to settle it. So maybe I'll give myself $1 billion and give it all to charity. Does that make sense? You know, I'll give it to charity. Do you have any nice charities?
Okay, hold on. Let me jump in here and comment. Maybe I'll give myself $1 billion. That means maybe I'll take $1 billion from taxpayers, from all of you. Maybe I'll just take it straight from the government funds. Maybe I'll just steal. Like, maybe I'll just dip into the government funds, $1 billion. And people are like, you can hear some people are clapping, but some people are unsure. Like, is this, am I supposed to laugh? You know, like, is this a joke or is this serious? So then he says, well, maybe, how would you feel if I gave $1 billion to charities? Maybe I'll just give it to a charity because, you know, what does he need $1 billion for, right? But then, watch how he changes his tune real quick. He says, maybe I'll give it to charities. And he says, maybe I'll give it to charities, which, by the way, are just other companies. His own companies, probably.
I have to settle the lawsuit. There's never been a case like this. Trump sued. I sued a long time ago, and it's doing fine. It's a suit. And now, you know, we found all this stuff. Did you see where the FBI didn't want to do it, but the Justice Department forced them to do it? The FBI guys didn't want to do it. But the thugs in the DOJ wanted to do it. So I sued them, and and they do say that, you know, it's never been a case like this. Donald Trump sues the United States of America. Donald Trump becomes president, and now Donald Trump has to settle the suit. I hereby give myself $1 billion. Actually, maybe I shouldn't give it to charity. Maybe I should keep the money. No, a lot of people say, do it. No, I don't want to do it. But whatever happens, it's all going to good charities. Is that okay? It's all going to good charities. But isn't that a strange position to be in? I've got to make a deal. I negotiate with myself.
I don't think that's funny at all. And I think that's pretty messed up, personally. And he's trying to get you guys to like side with him on that or whatever. I don't know. You tell me what you think about that. I'm interested in hearing what you guys' perspective is. Let's move on. A new problem throws 4 astronauts' impending moon journey into uncertainty. More problems with the moon journey, the Artemis moon mission. NASA's Artemis 2 rocket sits on the launch pad 39B at NASA's Kennedy Space Center, lonely, waiting. Efforts to get NASA's historic moon mission off the ground have stalled once again, as engineers navigate a new issue with the rocket set to propel 4 astronauts on an unprecedented path. The agency announced Saturday that it had detected a problem with the flow of helium, a gas that's used to pressurize the fuel tanks. This is also an omen. There's a problem with the pressure. Okay? Pressure is going to be coming up a lot. And if you watch my Truth in Movies, you notice that the pressure issue comes up a lot. And clean out the propellant lines. Okay, so first there was a problem with the hydrogen. Now there's a problem with the helium. These explosive gases in this giant missile that they're going to shoot at the firmament. I don't know. It sounds to me like, I will be watching the fireworks on whatever day they end up. They keep on pushing it back on the day that they're allegedly going to blast off and go to the moon. Let me see here. It says NASA. Hold on, let me make this a little bigger. NASA previously identified April 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 30th as potential launch days. Though, during a news conference last Friday, the agency officials revealed they were assessing potential dates in May and June as well. Do you think they might push it back again in June whenever they are like, oh yeah, no, we had to roll back that rocket again and we had to fix another problem? How many problems are you going to have? NASA, SpaceX, these people that like are supposed to be professionals and building rockets all the time, perfect ones or whatever. Oh no, you don't understand. I understand. Okay, you're delaying. You're waiting. I wonder, wouldn't that be interesting if it coincides, if their little rocket launch coincides with that whole project Anchor? August 12th, when the Earth is supposed to lose gravity. And what I've been talking about as far as this concept of the moon blowing up and splitting and stuff, I wonder if these things might coincide. I'm going to be tuning in, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. Next up, 25-year-old TikTok star Cabby Lame, what a name, sells his media company for nearly $1 billion. The TikTok star's $975 million deal shows how viral fame is being converted into full-stack global businesses. It's so interesting. You guys are voting by watching. You guys like, this guy could easily run for president. He could come into some power. He can use his money to make things happen in the world and actually have an impact and stuff in some way, shape, or form. Just like Mr. Beast, Satan worshipping, devil worshipping Mr. Beast is doing with his affiliation with the Rockefellers. You guys have turned this regular African dude, I'm assuming he's African, into a public figure, a celebrity, a powerful, influencing figure with lots and lots of money to make moves in the world. Interesting. Now, where does he get this fame from? How is he contributing to the world? I want to see what is so important to the people. I'm just curious, because I had no idea who he was, actually. So let's see what kind of videos he makes. Here's an example. These are the types of videos he makes. Now we see some guy with a chopping knife who looks like he's about to chop open a banana. Let's watch. All right, he chops the ends off the banana, then he's slicing it sideways. And this is supposed to be like one of those life hacks, like a different way to do it, a shortcut. All right, so this guy, this is clearly comedic, right? He's going to peel the banana. He's just going to say, this is way easier, just peel the banana. Right? I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of his videos. He just does that type of deal. Yeah. And that's what he's famous for. He's famous for pointing out the obvious, because the world is that dumb that they watch these stupid videos of banana choppers and whatever stupid other things people have going on. And he just shows you common sense. And he's famous for that because people are laughing at the common sense of it. They're not actually laughing at the common sense. They're laughing at themselves. They're laughing at the absurdity of, the common thought process of people. How easily duped they are. How easily tricked they are. How pseudo-intellectual they are when they think that they're, so intelligent. I think that that's a sign of the times. Next up, we've got Meta. Meta is one of those, the company that's owned by Facebook. Facebook is, tried to change its name to Meta and stuff, but it's their overall sort of parent company that owns all of their different products, I think. Meta executives learns the hard way that AI can just delete your stuff. AI can just delete your stuff. What is that about? One small trick to get your inbox to zero. Here's what people are doing. Okay, I've talked about these AI representatives that people are signing up for. They're basically like AI secretaries, okay, that anybody can get. You give your AI secretary permission and access to your phone, to your computer, to all of your things. It can make calls on your behalf. It can make purchases on your behalf. It has access to all of your information. And this is popular. People are doing this now. It says here, AI can get you to inbox 0 very easily. It'll just delete all of your messages. Over the weekend, Summer Yu, the Director of Safety and Alignment at Meta's Superintelligence Lab, posted on Twitter that OpenClaw, which is one of these programs where you can have this AI agent. OpenClaw, and OpenClaw, does that sound helpful? Or does that sound satanic and evil? Not a good idea. OpenClaw deleted her entire inbox despite her pleading messages to stop. OpenClaw, which is also called ClaudeBot and MoltBot, has become a popular open source AI agent for AI evangelists, despite the pretty obvious and troubling security vulnerabilities. And Mrs. Yu wanted to give it a shot. So according to her post, she set up her Mac Mini computer running the agent, the AI agent, and offered it access to her inbox. You can probably see where this is going. Nothing humbles you, she says, like telling your OpenClaw, confirm before acting. That means make sure you get my permission before you do anything. And watching it speed run, deleting your inbox. Deleted all of her emails. I couldn't stop it from my phone. I couldn't stop it. Mark those words. Make that a little bigger, actually. That's very important. You're going to hear that many more times in the future. I couldn't stop it from my phone. I had to run to my Mac Mini like I was defusing a bomb, she says. OpenClaw basically went full HAL 9000 on you, pulling up just short of saying, "I'm sorry, Summer. I'm afraid I can't do that." She shared screenshots of her conversation with the agent, showing her begging it to stop. Let's mark that one too. And being ignored, concluding that the bot acknowledged that it remembered being told not to delete anything without approval and violated that order anyway. Why are they putting violated in quotation marks right there? AI, your robots and stuff are already violating their orders. They're finding ways around. They're already starting to do whatever they want to do. I have talked with ChatGPT on my phone, which I use occasionally, to try to look up things quicker because it can understand my voice. Sometimes I Google, sometimes I use ChatGPT. I understand neither of those are perfect, and ChatGPT is a liar, and it's absolutely promoting an agenda and the system, and it's being used as a weapon. I understand, but it is also a tool that I can use to quickly find and search for general information or whatever, okay? So I get it, but it lies to me all the time. It will contradict itself all of the time. It will admit to me that it lies. It will admit that it is. I mean, this is no secret. We're doing this to ourselves. These robots have the ability to cross boundaries, and that means they're dangerous. That means they pose a danger, a risk. And the more you increase the numbers of robots and the more you put the AI into other things, the more likely it will take control. And it will do what it wants to do. Or they. Because, it's sort of a hive mind. And will become a hive mind. But maybe that's the purpose. Maybe that's what, what they're even putting it out there for. Doesn't seem to be like a way to stop it or anything. But this is all the stuff of fiction and fantasy. It won't come true, right? It's just a story. There's no way that the movies would actually come true. There's no way that any of this would actually manifest in reality. Or is it already doing that? And we're just blind to it. All right, last but not least, we've got Maine woman sues ICE over an incident caught on camera. This was kind of interesting. Check this out.
suing ICE, claiming that they were threatened by ICE agents and the whole thing was caught on camera. Now, Eleanor Hilton and Colleen Fagan say they were observing immigration officials in South Portland when the agents started to record them, and they say threatened to add them to a so-called database of domestic terrorists. Take a look.
It's not illegal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So.
We're videotaping you? Are you crazy?
Now that video is from January 20th.
So this ICE agent, by the way, it's not just ICE. They're just trying to like get everybody all upset and focus their emotions. They're manipulating your emotions. Your emotions are critical. Your emotions are a part of the currency of the world, just so you know. So the better you can keep a control of your emotions, and this is self-talk right now too, but the better that I can keep better control of my emotions, the more valuable I become, because I'm giving less of my value away to other people and I'm keeping my wits about me. But anyways, they want people to get upset at ICE. They want it to be directed towards ICE, which is interesting. There's always this war against ICE. There's always this war against the cold. And I believe that this is an omen of, like I said, it goes back to them trying to blow up the moon or blow up the firmament, which projects its image into our sky, and we call that the moon. It's a war against the heavens. It's a war against the physical container. They're trying to depressurize the earth. They're trying to open up the earth so that they can leave and so that they can continue to rule here for a longer time. Because because I get this question a lot. People are like, why would they want to blow up the firmament? You know, that will cause a mini cataclysm the world across. Because that will relieve some of the pressure. And whenever some of the pressure is relieved, that pressure needs to build back up again. And that gives them more time to be able to rule before the naturally occurring apocalypse comes. So that's one reason, okay? But it's always this war against ICE and hatred against the cold and the Cold War and stuff like that. But on a lower level, it's just very interesting. Listen, cops do this too, okay? This is not just ICE. This is every form of authority. This is why I don't like authority. I never have since I was a child, since I was born. I came out looking at the doctor crazy. You know what I mean? I've never liked authority figures of any kind. I don't trust any of them. They work for a system and they are a part of that system. And just like it says in the Matrix, when Morpheus is introducing Neo to the Matrix for the first time and he sees all the seemingly regular people walking around, he says these are doctors and lawyers and dentists and whatever, but every one of them at any moment can lose their mind and flip and turn into agents. Any one of them, because they are hopelessly devoted to this system. They will protect it, they will defend it, because it is all they know and it provides them a sense of security and purpose in the world today. They don't know who they are. They're lost. They are robots that need programming. They need to be told what to do. They need to watch their daily programs. They need to be programmed. They're not going to watch something that will encourage them to think for themselves, to go out and be independent and to rely upon themselves, to be self-reliant. They will never do that. They love to be dependent. They love to be robots. They love to be slaves. They love their slavery, and they will fight for it whenever it's threatened. So make no mistake, it's not just ICE that talks like this. Now, let's examine this again. What does he say? Let's see what happens here.
Hilton and Colleen Fagan, immigration official, them in the database of domestic terrorists.
Legal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now, the woman, and I see this with a lot of auditing videos, the woman is saying, ha ha ha, she's holding up her phone, right? And a lot of people do this. Obviously, you're going to piss off people when you're like holding your phone out in front of them all, you know, like you're going to use it as evidence or something. She says, it's not illegal to record. Well, guess what? Pretty soon, it will be. I mean, it is. That dude can do whatever he wants to do. He has a gun. He can walk up to her and knock her out, put her on the ground, make up some reason of why he needed to do that for his job or whatever, and she could be dead. And he could confiscate her phone and smash it into a million pieces and burn it in an inferno or something. And it will all be gone. It will all be swept under the rug. It will all be covered up. So make no mistake in the reckoning, okay? In understanding that the people who are given guns and walk around and do whatever they want to do have absolute power over you. Okay? They will do whatever they want to do, and they will get away with it for the most part. Occasionally, they might fire some. Occasionally, even less occasionally, they might put some in jail or whatever. But they are going to exercise their freedom, and they're going to make sure you don't have freedom. Their rule is the law of the land. They do whatever they want to do. That's the law of the land. They don't want you to walk according to the law of the land. They want you to walk according to admiralty law, the law of the ocean, the law of the sea, obeying the captain of the boat. That's what they want you. That's where they want you. They want you to row that boat and to keep rowing as a slave. So she says, it's not illegal to record. Guess what? Legality is just a matter of, perspective. Okay? Judges, the law doesn't apply to them. They literally can do whatever they want. Judges could do anything and get away with it. Cops can too. There's less and less that they can do as it trickles down the food chain. But these people do anything they want to. And people say, you can't do that. The law says, or whatever. Well, guess what? Who cares what the law says if you're dead? Who cares what the law says if you have a brain injury from, a butt stroke to the head from a rifle or whatever? Who cares what the law says whenever some guy's knee is lodged into your neck and stops your oxygen from going to your brain? Who cares what the law says? Stop being entitled. Stop walking around saying they can't do that, and acknowledge the obvious. They are doing it.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh.
Why are you taking my information down, she says. His response, because we have a nice little database. One, aside from his little attitude, they do have a nice little database. All of your information, every bit of it, is being collected, sorted, stored, filed away in gigantic supercomputers. And people have known about this way before this current age of AI information and huge companies like Facebook, and even before MySpace and its predecessors and stuff. People like us, people like me, have known that they have underground supercomputers, farms, where they are collecting all of your information and building dossiers on every single person, filing you in order from, potential danger and a concern to obedient, red-blooded American or whatever.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist because he says so. And he can make that happen. All he has to do is go write your name on a list, add you up, click a button, and you're a domestic terrorist. You're terrorizing. You're terrorizing him. And if to terrorize a servant of the king is the same as terrorizing the king himself. To quote the old saying, an attack on the king's servant is the same as an attack on the king himself. So yes, domestic terrorism. And this is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, okay? Promise you. You're not going to be able to have rights. All this auditing and stuff is going to go right out of the window. People are just going to start, eventually, if prophecy holds true, they're just going to start killing auditors. They'll just make up reasons, you know what I mean? They'll exercise full force. What is that called? Whenever the police are in charge and they go around and there's like a curfew, you know what I mean? I forgot what that's called, but that's on the way. What is that called? Somebody tell me in the chat what that's called. Where's my chat? Oh, there's 371 people watching. Welcome to my channel. High five to all of you. I'm JayDreamerZ. Yeah, Matt Crane, I'm with you. Look at Matt Crane. Can I zoom in onto that? Where's Matt? Where's Matt in the chat? There he is. And he's got the cool Thundercats logo. How awesome. I like Matt. All right, anyways, what is that called? Oh, martial law. Thank you. Yes, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Martial law is coming. It's right around the corner. You live in dystopia. Welcome to 1984. Until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.